49, the fake to Jeske. Put up again, complete to Mark Gay inside the 39 or the 35-yard line, and Clintonville has it on the move through the air.
We'll see it once again. Linebacker Mike Selhausen had pretty good depth for Falls, and you'll see him jump up and try to hit the ball. Here's Jersey throwing the ball, and there you saw number 70, Selhausen, just couldn't quite get to the ball. And 85, Mark Gay made the reception.
The flag down. It's a personal foul holding against the Menominee Falls East Titans. So instead of getting the ball at the 35, Clintonville now has it at the 20. Ideal field position. They've only got the closing seconds of the third period to work with, and then Clintonville will be going into a strong wind in the fourth. Jersley putting it up, complete in and out of the hands of Mark Gay, down around the 5-yard line.
Too bad. Mark's made a couple nice catches today, and that one was right in his hands. He just couldn't quite hold on.
I think he was looking for that sideline. He was very close to the out-of-bounds line when he made the reception. I think he was worried very much about keeping at least 1 foot in bounds. Tim Schwartz checks in as a receiver. Jeske checks out, so they'll go with 2 backs and 3 receivers on this one. Actually,
and this is pardon me, Bob. This is that shotgun formation we talked about. Jersey drops straight back.
He's thinking about running it, and now he will. He's inside the 20, inside the 15, and out of bounds. 13-yard line goes Mike Jersley. Now, we just saw a player go through that long jump pit. That was number 54, Terry Griebling. Lost his footing in there and may have twisted an ankle. That can be a little bit dangerous.
Jersey was looking for Joe Mall coming across the middle, but he was well covered over there by number 21, Bob Butler, and Gary Mikas, who's back in the secondary. And there just wasn't any receiver open, so he pulled it down and took off running. Gained 8 yards.
Stop the clock with 54 seconds remaining in period number 3. Clintonville trailing at 6-0 in the Class A championship game, trying to get in the end zone. Third down, 3 yards. Fumbles on the shotgun. Now Jersley in trouble, trying to run out of it, and does. He has some room. Jersley down to the 5-yard line. First and goal for the Truckers.
Again, he turned on that speed. He was cornered. He fumbled a little bit. You'll see on that shotgun. He was looking downfield while the center was snapped, and you'll see him bobble it a little bit there. Picks it up, outruns those people, which is a great play. The kid's a great athlete. Runs down to the 5-yard line, fighting for all the extra yards. Make it to 6.
First and goal for the Truckers of Clintonville. Closing seconds of the third period. Jersley, the give to Jerry O'Connor. He is down to the 2. John Faust made the stop, and you've got to wonder whether Clintonville would think, Jim, of calling a timeout to stop the clock and keep the wind for a sure thing on that extra point try, and I think they've done just that.
Once again, Bob Schultz, ladies and gentlemen, coming up with the key call. He knew it before it even happened.
17 seconds showing on the clock.
Good blocks on that play again, over on that left side of that Clintonville line by Mark, help me with that, Bob. Shingler, that was easy, and Randy Bricko. Good blocks.
You think you got trouble with these, huh? Wait till tonight when we do that independent schools game and you get a look at some of those kids from Milwaukee, Thomas More. You better get your tongue well oiled up. We'll get some tough ones for you.
I can still read the numbers. I'll just call the numbers.
I'll tell you, after doing 3 high school games in about 26 hours, the temptation to say there goes number 26 to number 34. At the sideline, the conversation between Mike Jersley and his coaches, Chet Jerkovic and Bruce Parkovich, has ended. He heads back to the huddle. It'll be second down and goal, the ball at the 2-yard line.
And on the other side of the field, Mike Selhausen returns to the huddle after a conference with his coach.
Jim Jaskowitz. It must be a big kick for a guy who was a star at his high school to go back to that school as the head coach and take them to the state championship game. And Jim Jaskowitz has done that. Jersley keeps it himself. He is not in. He's right at the 6-inch line where Selhausen stopped him, and the clock is now down to 7 seconds, and they've stopped it again using another timeout.
It was pretty tough sledding there. There was more than just a stop there. That was good pop there. Good hitting.
Tough decisions for a coach to make. You use up 2 of your timeouts because you want to be guaranteed the win. But again, I think it may be a case that Coach Chet Jerkovic has a great deal of confidence in his defense in that fourth period, that they can stop them, because he wants Jersley to get a chance, I think, at kicking that extra point with the wind behind him.
I agree completely, Bob, and they're talking a little bit now. I'm sure that Chet is saying to Jersley, keep the ball yourself. He's their main man. He gets the big plays for them. You saw him go on the quarterback sneak there. I wouldn't be at all surprised to see it again.
Clock shows just 7 seconds remaining, and of course if they do punch it in on this play and are able to pull that off, and they would only use a couple of seconds in doing so, there would be no time lapsed on the extra point try, and they would also have the wind on the kickoff. It's thinking a long way ahead, isn't it?
It's great to know the rules like this, know when a clock starts and stops. Play-by-play people know it all.
Yeah. Jersley, I don't think he got in. He did not. And Clintonville has called another timeout. Quick thinking by Jersley, who was down, but now with 2 seconds remaining. Credit the stop to Scott Perschbacher, the 5'11", 180-pound junior tackle for Falls East. They're playing it tough down on the goal line.
They sure are, and that's a sign of a great defense, and a well-organized defense when they make those goal line stands. You know, I'd have to argue a little bit now, though, Bob, with Coach Jerkovic for Clintonville. To take 3 timeouts just to save that win on an extra point try, Jersley kicked into the wind earlier in the game, kicked almost a 39-yard field goal just to stop play with timeouts 3 times in a row to have him have the win for an extra point. I'm not quite sure I'd agree totally with that. Of course, we're sitting up here and second guessing is a lot easier.
I think he's absolutely right.
Oh, there you go.
2 seconds showing on the clock. The Truckers 4th down, inches to go for the score. They're down 6-0. Jersley, fumble. He did not get into the end zone, and all of that strategy has backfired. Jersley is appealing to the referee, but it is going to be a turnover, and Menominee Falls East will have the ball at their own 1-foot line as the third period comes to an end. A disappointing end for the Truckers after 3 quarters of play. In the Class A championship game, the score, Menominee Falls East 6, the Clintonville Truckers nothing. We're set for the final 12 minutes of this Class A championship game. Keith Workman on the sidelines, up in the booth, Jim Carter, and yours truly, Bob Schultz, as the Menominee Falls East Titans huddle almost illegally out of the end zone.
I think that could have been a backbreaker for Clintonville, Bob. Not getting in there. We'll see how they can come back and play their defense. I hope that doesn't discourage them too much.
Capstrand keeps it himself and bounces straight ahead out to the 4-yard line. Jerry O'Connor comes up to make the tackle for the Truckers.
Anytime your defense comes up with a big goal line stand like that, just like Menominee Falls East just did, it really pumps up your offense. They feel better about it. They feel like their defense is doing their job. It's going to be tough for Clintonville the rest of the way.
They have not been able to put points on the board. Capstrand brings them up. 2nd down and 7 from the 4-yard line. Goldman taken down right at the 6-yard line. O'Connor made the first hit. Jersley was there as well. Spot the ball down at the 6-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 5. But even if they do have to kick from here, Jim, and if Clintonville's able to stop Falls East here, they've got a strong following wind behind that kick by Mikas, who's a pretty fine punter, averaging almost 36 yards a kick. Butler stopped well short of the first down. Number 85, Mark Gay, made the tackle. And they will have to punt it away, and in to do so will be Gary Mikas. Big kick return here would help. We remember the 92-yarder that Jerry O'Connor had in the game against Bayport, which we did on TV 11 earlier this year. He is one of the short men back for the kick. The deep man will be 17, Mike Jersley. He's backing up inside his own 50-yard line. Chris Capstrand will be kicking. The left footer, not Mikas. Jersley loses the ball in the sun and found it again. He turned around, and Mike just absolutely lost any idea where that ball was for a split second.
And it was a gorgeous kick. Really a nice, strong kick by Capstrand. Carried 50 yards, and Clintonville will take over in their own territory. As you mentioned,